Severus Snape was born to a witch, Eileen Prince, and a muggle, Tobias Snape. He grew up in a rundown area called Spinner's End, surrounded by industrial decay. His home life was marked by constant tension. Tobias was cold and aggressive. Eileen, emotionally distant, which offered little comfort. Severus found no warmth in his family, only escape in magic. From an early age, Snape demonstrated magical ability, but with no guidance, he became isolated and secretive. Around the age of 9, he noticed Lily Evans, a cheerful Muggle-born girl nearby who unknowingly performed minor magical acts. Fascinated, Snape eventually approached her and explained that she was a witch. His approach was awkward. He used the term Muggle for Lily's sister Petunia, who was listening nearby and took offense. This first meeting ended with Lily storming off, confused and insulted. Despite that rocky start, Lily and Snape became friends. He introduced her to the magical world, explaining Hogwarts, the Ministry of Magic, Dementors and wizarding laws. This bond meant everything to Snape. One day, Lily's sister Petunia overheard them. Jealous and resentful, she insulted Snape's worn clothing and accused him of hurting her with magic when a branch fell near her. Lily blamed Snape, but the moment passed. The real fracture between the sisters came later, when Lily discovered a hidden letter Petunia had sent to Albus Dumbledore, begging to attend Hogwarts. Dumbledore had gently refused. When the time came to board the Hogwarts Express, Lily and Snape shared the train ride. Their conversation turned tense when Snape expressed excitement about Slytherin House, drawing the attention of James Potter and Sirius Black. They mocked him immediately. The rivalry between Snape and James was sparked on that train before anyone had even stepped foot in the castle. At the sorting ceremony, Lily was placed in Gryffindor. Snape followed shortly after and was sorted into Slytherin. The separation devastated him. It marked the beginning of a slow but steady divide that would define their teenage years. At Hogwarts, Snape excelled in academics. He was especially gifted in potions and defense against the dark arts. In secret, he enhanced his potions textbook with handwritten notes and created new spells, including the dangerous Sectum Sempra, a curse that inflicted deep, slashing wounds. He gave himself the nickname the Half-Blood Prince, combining his half-blood status with his mother's maiden name, Prince. Though academically successful, Snape was socially isolated. He remained close to Lily, but his circle within Slytherin House included students who were fascinated by dark magic and blood purity. Lily grew increasingly concerned about the company he kept. She warned Snape about their behaviour, jokes that targeted Muggle-borns, experiments with dark spells, and cruel pranks. Snape defended himself by pointing to the Marauders, James Potter, Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew, accusing them of bullying and sneaking out at night. Lily dismissed the comparison. She told Snape that while James could be arrogant, he didn't practice dark magic. Snape grew defensive and possessive. Their friendship became strained. Though Lily reassured him she had no romantic interest in James, she made it clear she would not tolerate Snape's growing bitterness. The breaking point came at the end of their 5th year. After their OWL exams, James and Sirius publicly humiliated Snape near the Black Lake, hoisting him upside down with magic. Lily intervened to stop them, but Snape, mortified, lashed out at her and called her a mudblood, a deeply offensive slur for Muggle-borns. Lily was stunned. She had defended Snape for years, but this insult crossed the line. She told him she couldn't continue making excuses for his choices or friends. When she accused him of associating with future Death Eaters, Snape didn't deny it. Their friendship ended that day. Lily moved on. Snape did not. Watching her fall in love with James Potter, the boy who humiliated him, deepened Snape's resentment. He buried himself in magic and anger. As graduation approached, he followed his Slytherin peers into Voldemort's ranks. After Hogwarts, Snape officially joined the Death Eaters. His mastery of curses and potion-making earned him respect within Voldemort's circle. He had chosen power, but beneath it all remained his unresolved attachment to Lily Potter. That fragile balance shattered when Snape overheard part of a prophecy made by Sybil Trelawney during a meeting with Dumbledore. The prophecy predicted that a child born at the end of July would have the power to defeat the Dark Lord. Snape, unaware of the prophecy's full content, reported what he heard to Voldemort. Voldemort concluded that the child was Harry Potter and decided to eliminate the threat. When Snape realized what he had done, he panicked. He went to Dumbledore and begged him to protect Lily. Dumbledore refused to prioritize her over her husband and child, condemning Snape for valuing only Lily's life. Faced with this judgment, Snape begged Dumbledore to save the entire family. In return, Dumbledore demanded Snape's allegiance, true, complete loyalty. Snape agreed. From that moment, he became Dumbledore's spy within Voldemort's ranks. Despite Dumbledore's precautions, the Potters were betrayed by Peter Pettigrew, their secret keeper. Voldemort found them, killed James and Lily, and attempted to kill Harry. Lily's self-sacrifice protected her son and caused Voldemort's curse to rebound. Snape was devastated. Upon hearing of Lily's death, he collapsed, weeping. He had failed to save her. Dumbledore forced him to face reality. Lily was gone, but her son remained. If Snape truly loved her, he must now protect the boy. Snape agreed. From then on, he operated as a double agent, publicly a Death Eater, secretly loyal to Dumbledore. It was a role filled with risk, secrecy, and no promise of redemption. When Harry arrived at Hogwarts, Snape recognized him instantly. He saw James Potter in the boy's face, especially the arrogance. But Harry also had Lily's eyes, and that made Snape's job even harder. Outwardly, Snape treated Harry with coldness and contempt. In secret, he was tasked with keeping him alive. In Harry's first year, Professor Quirrell attempted to steal the Philosopher's Stone. Snape suspected Quirrell early on and monitored him closely. When Quirrell jinxed Harry's broomstick during a Quidditch match, it was Snape casting counter-curses to protect him. Later, Snape tried to stop Quirrell from reaching the stone, sustaining a leg injury in the process. These actions remained hidden from Harry, who misjudged Snape's intentions. Dumbledore believed Snape's protection of Harry was partly driven by a sense of debt. James Potter had once saved Snape's life during school. This created a complicated internal logic for Snape. Protect Harry not for who he was, but because he was Lily's son, and because James had spared him. As Voldemort's influence returned, Dumbledore asked Snape to teach Harry occlumency, the art of blocking mental intrusion. The lessons failed. Snape and Harry were too emotionally charged, and when Harry accidentally accessed Snape's memories, he saw the moment James humiliated Snape in front of the school. That glimpse further strained their fragile connection. Despite personal resentment, Snape continued to act as Harry's shield. He undermined Dolores Umbridge, sabotaged threats quietly, and maintained his cover within the Death Eater network. As Voldemort returned in full form during Harry's fourth year, Snape rejoined the Death Eaters under Dumbledore's direction. Now acting as a triple agent, Snape had to deceive everyone: Death Eaters, the Ministry, and Harry himself. Only Dumbledore knew where his true loyalty lay. Dumbledore's investigations into Voldemort's Horcruxes came at a cost. He attempted to destroy one, a ring once belonging to Marvolo Gaunt, and was cursed. The damage was irreversible. Snape was able to contain the curse to Dumbledore's hand, but it would kill him within a year. Dumbledore made a final request. When the time came, Snape must be the one to kill him. It was not just a mercy killing, it was strategy. Voldemort had assigned Draco Malfoy to assassinate Dumbledore as punishment for his family's failures. Dumbledore believed Draco wouldn't go through with it and wanted to spare the boy's soul. Snape's act would both protect Draco and strengthen his own cover within Voldemort's ranks. Snape resisted at first, accusing Dumbledore of asking too much, but Dumbledore insisted, reminding him that his time was running out and that the plan required trust. Snape agreed and made the promise that would seal his fate. Shortly after, Draco's mother, Narcissa Malfoy, visited Snape in secret. She begged him to protect her son and help complete the task if Draco failed. Bellatrix Lestrange forced Snape to swear an unbreakable vow, an ancient magical contract that, if broken, causes death. Snape agreed. He was now bound to kill Dumbledore or die himself. During this time, Dumbledore shared one more secret. When Voldemort tried to kill Harry as a baby, part of his soul attached itself to the child. Harry had unknowingly become a Horcrux. To destroy Voldemort, Harry would one day have to die. Snape was furious. He had spent years protecting Harry for Lily's sake. Now Dumbledore revealed that it had all been leading to the boy's death. In disbelief, Snape asked whether Dumbledore had grown to care for Harry himself. In response, Snape summoned his Patronus, a silver doe, just like Lily's. Dumbledore, moved to tears, understood. As the school year progressed, Draco Malfoy managed to infiltrate Hogwarts with Death Eaters. He disarmed Dumbledore atop the Astronomy Tower, but couldn't complete the assassination. When Snape arrived, Dumbledore gave him a subtle signal. Snape raised his wand and cast the killing curse, Avada Kedavra, ending Dumbledore's life in front of witnesses. Snape's actions served several purposes. They preserved Draco's innocence, ended Dumbledore's cursed suffering, and proved Snape's loyalty to Voldemort. Harry, hidden and immobilized by Dumbledore, watched the murder unfold, convinced Snape had betrayed them. After the killing, Snape fled Hogwarts with the Death Eaters. As they escaped, Harry pursued him in rage, casting spell after spell. Snape blocked every curse with ease, but refused to retaliate. When Harry called him a coward, Snape snapped. "Don't call me coward!" he shouted, one of the few times he let emotion surface. Following Voldemort's takeover, Snape was named Headmaster of Hogwarts. Though it appeared he had embraced Voldemort's cause, Snape continued to follow Dumbledore's plan. He protected students from the Carrows, two Death Eater siblings who taught dark arts and punished resistance harshly. Snape subtly limited their cruelty and avoided direct conflict unless necessary. He also took steps to support Harry's mission. Knowing the real sword of Gryffindor was needed to destroy Horcruxes, Snape removed it from the headmaster's office and hid it behind a portrait. He replaced it with a fake, allowing the Ministry to unknowingly confiscate the wrong sword. Later, when Dumbledore's portrait learned that Harry was in the Forest of Dean, Snape went there silently. Without revealing himself, he cast his Doe Patronus to guide Harry to the sword. His secrecy was essential. If Voldemort discovered Snape had helped Harry, his cover would be blown. As the Battle of Hogwarts began, Snape's role neared its conclusion. Voldemort, now obsessing over the Elder Wand, believed it wouldn't fully obey him because he hadn't defeated its previous master. Since Snape had killed Dumbledore, Voldemort assumed that Snape was the wand's true owner. To gain control, Voldemort summoned Snape to the Shrieking Shack. Without hesitation, he ordered Nagini to kill him. The attack was brutal. Snape collapsed, mortally wounded. Voldemort left, thinking the problem was solved. Harry, who had been nearby under the invisibility cloak, rushed to Snape's side. As Snape lay dying, he gave Harry a flask filled with his memories and asked him to look into his eyes. Lily's eyes. It was his final moment, facing the boy he protected, bearing the eyes of the woman he had loved his entire life. After Snape's death, Harry examined the memories in Dumbledore's pensieve. The truth emerged, piece by piece. Snape had been loyal to Dumbledore from the moment Lily's life was threatened. He had played the part of Voldemort's follower perfectly, feeding him selective truths while shielding Harry from real danger. The memory of Snape's anguish at Lily's death, his tearful agreement to protect her son, and the Silver Doe Patronus, all of it reshaped how Harry saw him. Snape had not been kind, or gentle, or even good in the conventional sense. But he had been brave, endlessly, painfully brave. He lived a life of double-crossing, sacrifice, and secrets, all without expecting redemption or recognition. His final act wasn't a victory. It was a burden carried to the bitter end. After the war, Harry made sure the truth about Severus Snape was known. He revealed Snape's memories to those who had doubted him, memories that showed his lifelong loyalty to Dumbledore, his love for Lily Potter, and his secret mission to protect Harry from the shadows. Snape's story changed overnight. Once seen as a cruel teacher and suspected traitor, he was now understood as the double agent who had risked everything and received nothing in return. His sacrifices were invisible, but they were essential to Voldemort's defeat. To honour him, Harry named his second son Albus Severus Potter. When asked about the name, Harry said he was named after two headmasters of Hogwarts, one of them the bravest man I ever knew. Snape's legacy defied labels. He was a Slytherin who fought for love, a Death Eater who worked for good, and a man who carried pain so others wouldn't have to. His story wasn't about redemption, it was about enduring the consequences of his choices and making something meaningful from the ruin. He remained misunderstood by many. But for those who knew the full truth, Severus Snape was not just a man who changed sides. He was the one who made the war winnable, quietly, completely, and without reward.